This week, Q&A. Some people have asked me questions on Twitter and Facebook, so I'm going to try and answer them the best I possibly can. First question was from Scotty Marshall on Twitter, and she said, "What's the best picture you've ever taken?" That's quite good because I think I quite highly rate my work, what I put out. I don't want to put out anything that I don't think is good. If I take a bad photo, or not that I take any bad photos, I don't want to put them out. So I only put out my best work of what I think, what I want you to see. So one of my photos that I'm most proud of is probably Corfe Castle. I woke up one morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, drove out. To be honest, it wasn't the best. I wasn't hoping for anything. So again, you miss every shot you don't take. Went out there, climbed to the top of the hill. Again, there was no cloud, no nothing. And then these clouds just come in from nowhere. And the whole sky just went completely red. And I was lucky enough to be the only person on that hill that day. Got home, put them on the laptop, and then, I was really happy with the image that I got. Put it on my Twitter account and then tweeted it, and then within 5 minutes later it was on the Telegraph, the Times, the Mail, and it did 18 million hits within one day, so I'm probably most proud of that. What's your favourite place in the UK for landscapes shots, and what camera would you recommend for beginners? For shots around the UK, where's my favourite place to shoot? I've got two places. One is Wales. I really love Wales. The Brecon Beacons. If you ever get a chance to go up there, the waterfalls up there are amazing. And again, with using some nice filters like the 10 stop, you're going to get that nice dreamy look of the water flowing off the cliff there. And it's just, for me, that was my best place to probably learn as well. About the filters and what they can do differently. So that was one of my places where I really loved, was the Brecon Beacons up there, and the walks are amazing. So it's not just about the photography. You should be getting out there, enjoying the wildlife and the scenery. So that was a really nice place. Second place is in Dorset. I really love Durdle Door. I think it attracts so many people to it every day and across the whole world, because everyone knows the whole arch in the water, and it's such an amazing place. If you haven't seen it, I would recommend there. The camera for beginners, I would say the Canon 60D is a really good camera. I mean, it's not bad. It can do video as well. It's got loads of settings on here, and that's what I started out on. I was using a 10 to 20 mm lens on that one, because I think the wider the lens, obviously the better for landscapes, because you want to get as much in as you possibly can. Filters I was using a Hoya, a 10 stop Hoya lens on there. Basically this filter, £65. You can find it probably cheaper. It's really good. I was using it for all my photography when I was just starting out, because I wanted to know how to do the dreamy photos, with the sky is kind of moving and the sea is all flat and it looks really misty. You can't do it without a filter. You shouldn't be able to see through a 10 stop. It should basically look completely dark. So if you were to get a 10 stop and you can see through it, it's not what you've ordered. So make sure you always order correctly. You can then move up into Lee filters. Lee filters are amazing. So this one here is a polarizer. So basically with a polarizer you can see through the water, and it takes all the sunlight, all the reflected light out. So basically if there's any movement in the clouds or anything like that, and the sun is reflecting, it's not going to see it. So if you want to take a picture of a rainbow, because a rainbow is reflected light from the sky and the rain coming down, don't use a polarizer, because you can't see the rainbow. It's a mistake I made. So all photographers make mistakes, so you need to make sure don't make the same as mine. but if you want to get a nice dreamy photo look, buy some new filters. Next question, if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go? If I could go anywhere in the world, Iceland would be my best place to go to. Reason behind it, I'd love to see the Northern Lights. I think that's a photographer's dream, to be able to capture a massive landscape, and you know, for the green of the colours, for the aurora going through, you know, and I think a lot of people, you know, they really want to see that. So Iceland's in my top number ones to go to. What do I prefer, Lightroom or Photoshop? For me, I like Lightroom, because really with Photoshop I don't really need it. I don't think that Photoshop for landscape photography, which is what I do, I don't need to take an image out and put it back in again like you need for like maybe product photography, is where you need it, maybe modelling, you'd need like to reduce the shadows, to remove spots, add a white background, add some more light here, add some more light here. You can do that all in Photoshop. Lightroom is just really colour correcting, bringing out the shadows, and then like in like contrast and stuff like that. You don't really need Photoshop, in my opinion, for landscape photographer. Next question was from Damien Davis. Which of your fellow photographers do you admire, respect the most, and why? So to answer that question, you know, first of all, when I first started, I really liked Mark Bauer. His work was fantastic, all over Dorset, and I wanted to get my photos onto the same level. So I was looking at equipment, what equipment to buy, what camera he was using. So basically at the end of the day I was kind of copying his work, which for me I didn't like. I wanted to have my own style. So I had to try and things do differently than what he was doing. But I kind of, you know, grew up like kind of leading that sort of way, and then had to go off and find my own step. So now like my photography's changed again from what I grew up on, so I think it keeps rolling. So now like there's really loads of people over Dorset. There's like Martin that's really good, Kevin, Donna, and we've got set up a Facebook page which is called Views of Britain. You can go on there. And even Damien Davis, who even asked me this question, he's a fantastic photographer who lives up in the Cotswolds, really good, so I'll check out his work. Then you've got Dave Z, who lives in Yorkshire, another guy who's really good. And then you've got like in Dorset, you've got Donna as well, fantastic. She does really stuff with like wildlife, which is amazing. And now since I've started out doing like videos and vlogging, you know, you've got Ben Brown, who's really good, and then Casey Neistat, which is who I admire at the moment for their consistency of level of work. What emotions do you have when you're out making photos and videos? So I get really happy that when I take a photo, I'm the first person to view that image before I share it. And I kind of like that, not knowing if I'm going to like a destination, you know, that it could be raining, could be sunny, could be not. So I kind of like really enjoy that whole experience of going to somewhere new and not knowing, and then getting that like wow factor when you get there and you get that image back. Another emotion that you can that I get is from sharing. So if I put something on Twitter and it goes, you know, crazy, you know, there's such a good feeling that your work's being shared between loads and loads of people, you know, and you might get a response back, you know, from thousands of people. I've had like, for the other day I put some photos up of my Milky Way shots that I did at night, and it got like 300 likes in like 3 hours. So you know that your photos are being credited, you know, and that's really what I like, and that's not only the reason why I do photography, because obviously I like doing it for myself as well, you know, it's not just for the viewer, but I like to have that feeling that, you know, that I did that, I took that. This one was from Chris. I had to think about this question. He sent it to me 2 days ago, and I've still been thinking about how I'm going to answer this one. Apart from your grandfather, where does your motivation come from to go out as much as you do to the same locations? So the answer to this one, my motivation comes from trying to get better than I did yesterday. So if I take a photo today, I want it to be better than what I do tomorrow. So every photo I have to kind of compete against myself, always, to do as much as I can, but as better as I can than I did the last. So even though my granddad taught me how to do my photography, you know, he taught me the basic rules, where to stand, but every light that that comes to your camera is different. So I can't say to someone, yeah, stand here, and then you're going to get the same shot I did. You won't, because tomorrow will be completely different, and the whole setup is going to be different. The weather's going to be different. It might be raining. How are you going to cope with that? If I told you how to stand there in the sun, you won't get that shot. So yeah, my motivation comes from seeing things differently, enjoying the landscape, because you have to, again, enjoy exactly where you're going to. And I like to go to new places as well, not just in, the south coast. I like to go to maybe the Lake District and go up there and see the new things up there and learn the different landscapes that I have to shoot with, and that environment can change. I want to see things that are different. So my motivation comes from going to places that that I've never been to. So I hope to visit every country in the world and every place and get a better photo, and then go there again and get a better photo again. So I have to go around the world like twice. That's it for Q&As this week. Hope you enjoyed it.